Hi, friends. How's everyone doing today? Okay, so let's face it. It's time for you to step into your light. I was driving today. I'm not working, so I went to my favorite Brazilian bakery to buy some goodies because I was having some cravings of some good stuff that I haven't had in a while. And now I'm satisfied because I had what I was craving for. Here's the deal, my friends. We we have this bad habit of living in our own shadows most of our lives. For the most part, it's really not your fault because there's a whole system that operates against you in the sense that, you have all these ideas that are really not your own, these preconceptions that are really not your own. There are all these things, all this conditioning. So, as we grow older, we are accustomed to, I would even say, not only accustomed, but we feel comfortable as long as we stay in the shadows with our own shadows. And what do I mean by that? Well, you can call it the ego. There are many names for it, but it's basically these parts of the human psyche that are this construct that we've built over time as we were growing up, as we were being educated in school, with our parents, all of these things. So we get used and comfortable as living in this space that is actually not reality, but it's this fake construct that we all built for ourselves and operate within it, not knowing that that's not reality. So once people gain the courage, the clarity, and the understanding that by stepping out of this construct of shadows, our own shadow that has many shadows within it. And the other thing is, you have to understand that this part of us, it's a part of us that is actually necessary because without it, there would be no learning, there would be no growth, there would be not no overcoming of things, situations, problems, issues, whatever you want to call it. Karma doesn't matter. The semantics is not the point here. The point is that people don't know the power that they have, the things that they can do, the things that they can achieve in their own lives if they actually understood that they're capable of doing whatever the heck they set out to do if they do it with real intention, alignment, belief, trust, and understanding that this this physical reality has rules that once you understand how the game works, a lot of those rules will no longer apply to you in your life, because now you can weave the fabric of reality itself. When you're walking with the proper mindset, state of being, state of mind, knowing that you can create anything. But here is the thing though, people don't understand that yeah, it sounds a lot easier said than done on paper, maybe, but it's not as hard as people think, because what has to happen, what you need to understand is that all of these self-imposed limitations, this mindset that most people have, where they shrink themselves into nothing, where they think of themselves as not being capable of doing anything or achieving anything that they want to set out to achieve, because they they choose to remain to live in this perpetual state of fear, of self-doubt, of lack of self-love and self-respect, and all these things that you have to completely let go and detach of to be able to step out of the shadows and into your own light. The thing that most people don't understand or realize is that there's a grand plan. And whether you believe it or not, this divine parts of you, this higher self aspect of yourself, and you can call it what you want, God, you know, um, whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is, these things exist, and these things always have. The universe itself always has the best interests for you in your life. The reason why those things do not happen is because you can't see the signs, the synchronicities. You fail to listen to that inner voice of yours when it's telling you that you shouldn't be doing this, or you shouldn't be doing that, or this is not a good idea. We are constantly being guided and shown the right way, the right path. You have all the clarity you need, even when you are in this sleeping slumber mode. Even for those that are like living in this like sleepwalker zombie mode, that spark of light is always there. It never leaves you. We are born with this, and we will live this physical plane with this. But because we are never paying attention to truly be able to maybe understand what that means, or listen to that guidance, that nudge that is telling us, no, no, don't go this way, go that way. Because of this lack of self-love, which is extremely important. People need to get out of this mindset of people pleasing and and always prioritizing everything else and everybody else around them but themselves. Think of it in terms of, let's say, you have a child, you have a kid, okay? How do you think that that kid's life is gonna go if you if you spend your whole life as that kid is growing up neglecting that kid, not listening to them, not giving them the proper tools for them, to grow up in a healthy environment and understand, what life is all about and all these things. Do you see how deep this stuff goes? Because this is how most people treat themselves. And like I said before, the problem is that, a lot of these things, you are not at fault to a very high degree on these things, because the entire environment around you that you grew up in was designed in a way to be against all these things and against the proper and aligned mindset of understanding your true value, understanding your true worth, understanding the simple fact that the just being alive is enough of a reason for you to know that you are enough, that you don't have to go around proving anything to anyone or anybody about anything. So why do we have this tendency to do these things? Because of how we are trained to think and to see things. We are taught, we we are raised to see ourselves as small and insignificance, of not, adding value to anything or any circumstance, any experience. And that is the root of the problem. Once you understand these things at a core level, at a root level, you will allow yourself to step out of these shadows, get out of this comfort zone that is keeping you stuck and stagnant in this perpetual state of victimhood, of thinking that you're not enough, or whatever you're thinking. Get out of that. Wake up. The only thing that's holding you back is yourself, and the way you see yourself, and the way you think, the way you act in your life. Every single person on this planet was born for greatness, and you are no different. So own that and stop being complacent and not acting, and do something. Because once you start doing that, you're going to get all the support you need, all the strength you need, all the motivation that you need, and the energy to just keep moving forward. And don't look back. The past is irrelevant. It was only there to teach you how to grow and how to learn. That is the only thing it's there for. This is all that I felt compelled to talk about and share today. So take that to heart and stop thinking more with your heart and your soul and your true purpose than overthinking and overanalyzing things. You'll be thanking yourself later. I love you all from the depths of my soul. Never stop loving yourself. And I will catch you all on the next one. Take care, my friends.